Hey guys, it's Cynical here, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to the 11th episode in me and Max's Series 1 commentaries, and today it's Boomtown, or as Max insists on saying it, Boomtown! Oh, fire and Slovene and alien and earthquakes. Yeah,
something like that. I think really it needs to be slightly more subtle. So, Boomtown! Yeah, you get it like a little bit more nuanced. No.
Yeah.
That's not. That's too subtle. It's got to be like
Boomtown.
Okay, you got to really have the emphasis. And I said it too quickly as well. It's got to be very slow, like Boomtown, and sort of fist in the air, sort of plunging the fist forward. Like
Okay,
the communists, something like that. I think it helps with the emphasis, really. But
let's just start watching, okay? But this episode, okay, is essentially renowned by fans as shit, and I have no idea why.
I don't think it's regarded as shit. I think they just think it's all right, and they kind of move on, and they sort of gloss over the episode as being somewhat insignificant. And I mean, it is in between the Stephen Moffat two-parter and the series finale, which everyone idolises, and rightly so. But as we've said before on the channel, in my top 10 underrated stories video, in Oliver's video looking at his top 10 favourite stories of New Who, we like this one, and we feel
we spoke about it a lot.
Yeah, just a bit.
But very, very good. Not just underrated, as in people should give this one because it's a nice, fun bit of TV, but it's actually a really, really good story.
Yeah, there's more to it than just it's just a bit of inoffensive fun.
Really nice.
Which is more than could be said for other episode 11s, and quite a powerful message to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So are we all ready to get going and start watching Boomtown?
I'm ready. I don't know if the people watching this video are ready, but who cares about
Are
them?
you ready for Boomtown? Let's go. Let's start watching in 3, 2, 1. Oh, and I forget, this is, along with the finale and the long game, this is sort of one of the revisited parts, which it's interesting how they did that, but...
Yeah.
Because I don't think we've ever had that in another series, have we?
What, sorry?
Not like a sort of revisited episode, like,
I don't know.
Oh, okay, maybe something like Rise of the Cybermen and Doomsday.
To answer that question would require me to think about it, and it's Sunday the 15th of March, so it's a Sunday afternoon, and I cannot be bothered to think about it.
At
My brain's gone.
16 minutes to 3.
Yeah. But did you notice the inconsistency? Unlike other recap trailers in this series, this had a previously over the top.
Yeah.
This is a great shot, an unusual way of starting the story, because a slow panning shot. I don't think we've had a shot or a start quite like this. And the way it stays on that for so long.
We don't know what happened to Blomfeld Watch after the events of Aliens of London and World War III, do we?
Brief dialogue about her being stuck on the Isle of Dogs later on.
Oh yeah.
So
in fact, it's something quite interesting is just about a few hours ago I listened to a Big Finish Torchwood story.
Yeah.
Which is that has Susie, and it's sort of a two-hander. It's Susie and Margaret the Slovene. They find an alien wreckage, and they essentially get stuck together for an hour. And that's Gwen's dad from Torchwood.
Oh right.
That's quite interesting. I wonder how they're going to tie that up into continuity. Gwen's dad just works for the Prime Minister. Oh well, that's interesting, I suppose. But yeah, it's a nice sort of hour-long, just sort of bit of fun. And Annette Badland is quite good in it, and yeah, I'd never realised that was Gwen's dad. The actor who plays
all this fluctuation lighting going on behind him, and he doesn't notice. I mean, wasn't it flashing a moment ago, and now it's not?
Yeah, that is a bit strange. Maybe she's got out of it very quickly. Actually, no, that can't tie into continuity unless Gwen is a Slovene. Oh my god. But yeah, this is
Sorry, I stopped listening to you a while ago.
Thank you. But I think with the whole rift thing, that sets up Torchwood, it was of course set up in the Unquite Dead, but this is like zooms to present day and sort of.
Oh yeah. It's interesting how these things sort of tie up, because I never really realised how you have the subplot of the rift in this series.
Yeah, and especially in Torchwood terms, because
It's a really
Jack is
smart,
out
subtle
there,
connection between the episodes.
but Jack's running around Cardiff in 2005 fighting a Slitheen, but Jack is also right below himself in the Torchwood base.
Yeah.
Because he's there twice, but he's actually there 3 times because he sits in the morgue for a few thousand years if you've watched the finale, which is a bit strange.
Yeah.
But lovely shot there.
Yeah. Lovely pan here.
And nice.
What's your opinion on the Welsh language and accent?
Interesting.
No, I mean, I like watching... It's really weird, because even though I do not know anything about the Welsh language, living in the southeast of England, I actually used to watch S4C to death when I was a little kid on digital TV, and I was transfixed by it, because it was so alien. Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but...
I think Captain Jack in this one is a bit of a cheesy thing.
I mean, you have the 3 companions, and of course, it's inevitable that there's going to be one that gets sidelined. I mean, I don't know how I know that. That just came to me for some reason.
Don't. We've tried so hard. Just make it the one video where we
Try
don't.
to make it positive.
Okay. But yeah, this is really done really well, and
Yeah.
I really like some of the moments with Mickey, because Rose is an absolute bitch and just left him by the side of like a road.
Thanks for nothing. You know. Thanks. What for exactly? And that's their
Yeah.
And then
Comes back a whole year later.
Mickey gets accused of murdering her.
Yeah.
Oh, Mickey's face at this point.
Oh, reference there to back
Yeah.
to.
But of course, you don't need to have watched that episode to understand this. Same with the Slovene, I think, as well.
Oh, let me just get a pillow to sit on.
Now, of course, we were talking last week about the circumstances for this episode, and necessity being the mother of invention. That was cringe. Because it was originally going to be written by Paul Abbott, a friend and former colleague of Russ T Davies, and he submitted a storyline called The Void, where Rose, it turns out, was bred by the Doctor as an experiment in creating a perfect companion, which sounds shit to me personally, but Abbott had to abandon the project due to other commitments, so they had to write a bottle episode very quickly. Instead,
and it was because I was listening, because on the Torchwood Big Finish thing, I was listening to there's a little behind the scenes thing, and Annette Badland was talking about how Russell Davies liked the character so much in the Slitheen 2-parter that he decided to bring her back for an episode, which I think is quite nice.
Incidentally, a similar thing happened with a nice explanation of the Chameleon Circuit here, by the way, but we have a similar thing happening with Series 2, because originally Stephen Fry was going to write episode 11, but they needed to change the script for budgetary reasons, and he didn't have the time in the end to do the rewrite, so it ended up being passed on to Fear Her, and then there were talks about it possibly being moved to Series 3, but then Stephen Fry denied it, and...
Oh, Bad Wolf again up there.
It's interesting. It's odd how you have... Because Margaret Blaine was originally a secretary of MI5, so working for Defence. It's quite interesting that sort of person being Lord Mayor, but... My dad keeps saying nuclear is the future.
Well...
But of course, the setting of Wales is very deliberate, and a sort of... Russ T Davies wanted an episode set in Wales as a kind of tribute to the production team and the place where they work. Because it was a way of... Oh yeah, he wanted to show off how beautiful the area could be, and he wanted to incorporate Welsh culture because of the crew containing a lot of Welsh people, and... Yeah.
I like this character too. A small piece, not really. Don't know who plays her, but And yeah, Annette Badland's fantastic.
And some lovely Robert Holmes style dialogue here. The black humour.
The icy patch.
It's funny because decapitation in a family show. Doctor Who has introduced me to so many sophisticated words like anachronism, strong point, decapitation. You know.
Lovely.
That's the impact it's had on my life.
Also, since the last few episodes, I managed to do it properly.
What?
The mighty Jagrafest of the holy Hadrajasic Max Rodenfoe.
Good for you.
Was that close enough?
Yeah, but
was that close enough?
I managed it first time, didn't I?
Yeah,
Put
but
that in your pipe and smoke it.
Alright, then I will.
This channel does not endorse or support smoking. We are both non-smokers. Smoking is bad for your health, kids.
Unless it's really hard stuff.
How would you know, Ollie?
How the fuck do you think I make these commentaries with you?
Good
But
point.
yeah, I don't think the I don't think the farting is too prominent. Is there any farting in this story? I hope not.
No.
In the Big Finish I was listening to, she literally farts people out in a car. She chokes them to death by farting at them.
Lovely. There's no... I mean, Aliens of London and World War III was littered with self-indulgent jokes. You know, I need to be naked.
Oh, look at her skin suit there.
Naked.
Yeah, the skin suit
But,
looks a bit
there's
strange.
no self-indulgent jokes here. In some ways, the Slovene are better handled.
Yeah. And I really do like the design of the Slovene. They look quite cool.
Yeah. I think they are underrated.
I quite like this moment. I mean, even though it's just a person, and she was about to kill her, she lets her go because she has a kid. Oh, nice.
Wow. Lovely music here.
Oh dear. I like the Slovene voices, by the way.
Yeah,
I think I might have mentioned that before.
It was a bit weird because I'd first seen them in the Sarah Jane Adventures before I watched this, and there are some differences in how they're executed. The voices are a lot bubblier, I think, here. And they were in the Sarah Jane Adventures, Revenge of the Slovene. I think the green is a lot more. It's a brighter green in some ways. It's a nice moment. Of course, there are many more moments like it in Doctor Who. But...
nice blinking.
Yeah, I was going to mention the way the eyes are... I'd be interested to see what all the people on the nearby tables would make of this conversation.
Yeah.
And this feels very natural. It feels improvised as well.
Yeah. Actually, I love this moment. Just wait and look at the man's reaction in the background when he snatches the newspaper away. Look. Just wait. Yeah. He just looks around like, well, I was reading that, right?
Well, there's a kind of look of, oh well, that's life, I suppose. And of course, nice touch because it's the moment the photo was taken at the moment when they said, "Oh no."
Yeah.
photographs,"
Mm.
And the pacing, we're straight into the action here. Some great comedy moments coming up as well, which is a nice counterbalance to the deep stuff coming up later. See, having 3 companions can work if they're strong characters.
Yeah, just as it is here. Well, I think Mickey is relegated, but it's tied into the script, isn't he? He's just sort of left behind.
I saw a video
like quite literally, look there.
That said one of the reasons it works is because the companions are introduced not all at the same time. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I always loved this moment here.
Yeah. And again, Christopher Eccleston, top form as usual.
I'm laughing already because I know what's about to happen. Eccleston is so jolly in this moment. I think that's
one of the best moments of the series.
Playing Idris Hopper. Is that the person playing the guy there?
No idea.
Yeah, because if it is him, very good performance. He deserves respect for that.
I love how Jack does that, and then Mickey just
and fucks it up.
Toilet roll. Yeah, maybe a bit. I mean, not too in your face, but
Well, yeah, but the thing is, like I say, you've got humour here, but then later on, it does get not deep or depressing, but.
Quintessential moment here.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a bit slapstick, but
yeah.
But there's something for everyone here in this
but
episode. As with any RTD
fair
episode.
enough.
Comedy, but serious stuff.
Do you know where this was filmed?
And on a sec. Okay, so much of Boomtown was filmed on Cardiff Bay, with one scene in particular in front of the Millennium Centre in February 2005.
Evidently. I've just searched in Boomtown and it's come up with the festival.
Alright.
Fantastic. I love that line.
And some nice political nods to the fear and paranoia surrounding nuclear power.
Okay, this is directed by Phil Collinson, who did a large... Oh, another probably the 7th Fantastic there, maybe not. Maybe the 8th or something. Phil Collinson, who's directed quite a large handful of the RTD era episodes. Yeah, wow, quite a lot.
What?
Any other ones in the series would have been Father's
this
Day.
Is directed by Joe Ahern.
Oh, Oh, I clicked on produce.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
Phil
Of
Collinson's the
course.
producer.
Phil Collinson is not the director. He's a producer. Why did I?
But he's a very
forget
good
me.
producer,
I'm
and
stupid.
Joe Ahern, a
Yeah,
very good director.
yeah. Okay, so Joe Ahern did Bad Wolf, Dalek, Boomtown, Father's
Yeah.
Day, and The Passing of the Ways. I read that out of order, but that's how it's listed on the website. So shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is a good moment because
And this is the first time Bad Wolf is acknowledged as being a serious thing, as opposed to just being a fluke or a coincidence, or.
Yeah.
But it is relevant.
Oh, this music here's nice.
Oh yeah, the Doctor's thing. The key change on the soundtrack album gets me every time.
Yeah.
And that's basically saying it's going to be relevant to the finale.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. Nice silence there as well.
See, I told you it got dark. Well, not deep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And here we have
Bit
the moral
ruthless there.
dilemma coming in.
Ah, a fantastic moment.
Yeah. So, it was filmed on Cardiff Bay. The night shoot of Rose and Mickey in front of the water tower at Roldale Plus. No, that's coming up later.
I love how they've just put like toilet paper. Oh, it's not toilet paper.
No, they're cables.
Yeah, but they didn't. Forget it.
You know, you said earlier Jack Harkness was just shut up lines and.
No, he's not as. I think he gets better as the series in Torchwood and series 3 and series 4 as it goes
I think
on.
He's
but
alright here.
yeah, he's alright. He's not bad. But
Pardon me.
well, she's holding the ball from Father's Day. Oh, I love this moment.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic dialogue by Rusty Davies, and just it's such a good.
But also the acting of
Again,
Noel
it's like
Clarke,
Father's Day.
because you can tell.
Yeah.
Regardless of what he does in the faces, especially that moment just there, that he's just very peed off with it all. And we see it later on. It's taking its toll on him. And it's a deliberate attempt to show the consequences of the Doctor's lifestyle. This was always intended as a character piece, showing that and exploring whether the Doctor has the authority to take someone to their death sentence, which is a fitting storyline for Eccleston's war-torn Doctor, apparently.
Nice shot there, actually.
Yeah. Alright, so this scene here... so
they're standing on the little platform that goes down into the Torchwood base. What if they just get sucked in?
Well...
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so this night shoot here in front of the water tower, this was originally just going to be one night, but they had to extend it to 2 nights because it was February, it was cold, and it was below the temperature at which the fountain automatically cuts off.
Oh.
So they had problems with the water fountain.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, I find this quite poignant, especially with the hindsight of what happens next, and also you can just tell they're sort of
fantastic.
the actors as well. You can tell they're sort of on autopilot. They can't really accept that They're sort of trying to pretend the rift isn't there. Not the Torchwood rift, but the rift between them.
Ooh, symbolic. Perv. Nice way the TARDIS is shot in this episode as well.
Yeah, it's a lot more orange this time round.
But I think shot better than certain episodes, I think.
But they certainly used the TARDIS to its fullest potential. Here
Yeah,
you have a lot of scenes in the TARDIS, and they actually explore the whole confines of the TARDIS, and because we have Margaret sitting on the outskirts.
I like the way the roof, where the roundels stop and it turns into sort of a dome bit, is interesting. Oh, hang on, that's quite strange. You can see off the edge of the TARDIS there.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because the set ends, so
Yeah.
is there a wall?
Well, if that's the case, they've done very well to disguise the fact that it is the edge of
Yeah,
the set.
yeah, I hadn't noticed that.
This was quite an odd set as well, because it is literally just that room in the TARDIS. We never saw any other rooms of the TARDIS.
Other
There were
than
no
the Christmas
corridors
invasion. The Christmas invasion?
Oh, the wardrobe, yeah.
Which is a strange
But
thing,
there's no dialogue.
I think I
about
mentioned
the
that in the
swimming
Unquite
pool.
Dead, yeah.
We never got stories like The Doctor's Wife or Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS, where
Yeah.
it was practically exploring a whole continent.
Yeah. Or the beginning of Terminus. Which is the only good bit of Terminus.
So this was originally going to be called Dining with Monsters, this episode, but
I would have liked that.
Ross
That'd
T.
be funny.
Davies joked that a better name for the episode would have been What Should We Do With Margaret?
Why does he have those?
I just happened to have them. I wonder where he was hiding them.
And this is... And this line.
Yeah, it's a little bit unsettling given the description we've just had of her being electrocuted.
Yeah, in fact, that's this in. I hate to carry on going on about it, but the Torchwood story I was listening to earlier is basically the whole plot is something happens and Susie and Margaret get held together with the cuffs, the bracelet things, and they're just stuck together for an hour, and it's quite funny.
Yeah. When I first watched this, I always found this very unnerving. Sort of the Doctor and Margaret going to dinner and sort of being so trusting of each other, literally holding hands. And now these scenes in the restaurant were actually shot. Whereas the rest of the episode was shot in February, this was actually shot a month earlier in January at the Cardiff restaurant Bistro 10 before the rest of the episode because Annette Badland had scheduling conflicts. So Eccleston shot this scene while Billy Piper and John Barrowman were filming their scenes for The Empty Child on board his ship. And
That's quite nice.
And yeah, we have a moment of comedy here again, and you could say that it is somewhat silly, but
it's funny.
Yeah,
and I love her response. Thank you.
And it doesn't shy away from the debate, the sort of moral dilemma. I don't think, anyway. I do love that camera movement there, where you're kind of, oh my god, oh thank god.
I'd like to know how they did that. Probably CG'd it and just had him holding it anyway, didn't they?
But of course all this stuff is just I mean, it's very lucky that Raxachlorophalapatorians can actually do that. It's almost as though the script told them to be like that.
Steak and
Now-
chips.
Yes, the Doctor fancied steak and chips, but had said from now on he was going to become a vegetarian in the Two Doctors. I mean, you know, you were saying about Rose being a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she thinks Mickey really cares about.
Yeah.
But of course, this
I actually quote steak and chips quite a lot of the
Yeah.
time. Just
But
steak and chips rolls.
this is-
Steak and chips.
This is RTD being very good because this is such a throwaway moment. But the woman wept. It's such a throwaway moment, but it's just the description of it is very profound and moving. Good enough for its own story.
Maybe. Sounds like something you would have turned into one of those BBC books.
Yeah. That was a bit out the blue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I've just read that some scenes, I don't know if it's yet, but some scenes near the end of the episode they had to rearrange the schedule. And Billy Piper and Christopher Eccleston are replaced by doubles because Billy Piper's uncle passed away, so they had to change that.
Alright.
Ooh. Well, that sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah. It would be great if
Probably
like the
didn't
waiter
need
just
any
came and
music
bought
in
them.
but go on.
It would have been great if the waiter just bought some soup for them just at that moment, or
Yeah,
some
that
like
would be
casserole.
nice.
I'd like to see how the Slovenians strip people. Supposedly, like, do they just scoop out the insides, or do they eat it?
I think that'd be
Yeah.
quite boring to watch, actually. All that blood.
It'd be quite funny.
All that blood and guts. I've seen it before.
It'd be funny though.
I can just look on the internet of people being tortured and beheaded.
I suppose.
I don't need it.
Fantastic moment.
Ooh,
Oof.
yeah. For a brief moment, it felt a little bit off topic and out of kilter, but
Very good by Noel Clarke.
yeah. I know I've mentioned it hundreds of times, but just in case it's not obvious enough, Noel Clarke is friggin' awesome.
And I know something's quite interesting. I know. Again, I also mentioned this 100,000 times. Noel Clarke wrote an episode of Torchwood.
Oh yeah, I read that the other day.
Yeah, it's an interesting episode, but I didn't know it was written by him.
So he's like the modern day Ian Marter, because Ian Marter started
I suppose,
writing
yeah.
Target novelisations, and
That's what I thought when I heard it.
I love this
But-
scene here.
Really good. Really good. How can Russell T Davies be this good? Like how?
Let me just look up what university he went to.
For his first series, for a supposedly run-of-the-mill bottle episode.
Yeah, but the thing is, he loved Doctor Who, and he'd been writing for years. He'd written a lot of TV shows like Queer Folk that had already been well received. Right, so... Oh, he studied at Oxford. That explains it. That's why he's so good. You know, he was going to be a sketch artist originally, but he was colourblind, so he was talked out of it. But, like, the Book of Poems, Now We Are 600, that's got illustrations by Russ T. Davies. That came out a few years ago, and his illustrations are just as awesome as his writing.
Yeah.
Bit of a joke here.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
Yeah, it's weird. It's been so quiet for the last 33 minutes, and then all of a sudden it starts. I love this line here. Powerful stuff.
Angry. Ah. Remember the rage and the Boomtown. This is the boom in Boomtown, guys. Before all of it was just town. It was just dinner with wine and meat. But this is the proper. Ooh, it's Boomtown. This is the farting aliens. This is the grit.
This is what we live for. This is excitement. This is adventure. This is Doctor Who.
Oh, you're supposed to say Boomtown.
Boomtown.
No, this is.
Right. This is
Boomtown! yeah, there we go. Look at that. Nice animation, but I can only help...
Yeah.
But you can only help but see that they literally run over a crack there, I think, but...
Well, it was a very narrow crack.
I'm not going to say anything. Also, the TARDIS is a lot darker here, but it looks nice. All the better for it.
Good. Oh, nice wide shot there.
I love how the bridge is flashing as well. That looks quite cool.
Getting real Hammer horror vibes from those special effects.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, the bridge is flashing. No need for it to be, but you know. I wonder how they repaired the cracks. Just some.
Yeah. I mean,
wood filler.
Utopia, they blamed it on an earthquake. Well, I mean, it was an earthquake, but they just said it was an earthquake. And it's referenced in Utopia, isn't it? Lovely sort of sea green fog there.
I'd like to see how they install zips on the heads. Or zips on the arms, just as we've just seen.
We haven't said how brilliant Annette Badland is in this, have we?
I have.
Yeah.
I thought you were being ironic, but I have. She is brilliant.
Yeah. I can't imagine anyone else playing Margaret.
No.
Well, it's not Margaret, it's Blomfeld-Foch, but I always refer to her as Margaret Slevine.
Blomfeld-Foch, Passamir de Slevine.
Huh. Oh dear.
Well, it's
No one says that anymore, do they?
No, because it's 2020.
And it's nice to have the TARDIS, as opposed to being set dressing, sort of being part of the stories. Just here. Yeah, so this resolution here is a Deus Ex Machina, and it's a deliberate Deus Ex Machina, regressing Margaret so she can start anew. Although Davis remarks that the resolution did not come completely out of nowhere, as the TARDIS psychic link had already been established. I'm trying to remember when it's been established, but
no, it's good.
Yeah,
no, hang on, is it?
What? I don't think it's in series 1 necessarily, but what I do like about it is that it does lead in very nicely to the series finale, because of course we see it's Rose seeing the power of the heart of the TARDIS that makes her think, yes, maybe I could use this to save the day, to save the Doctor. So, yeah, it's like what we were saying earlier about the plot arc and how, because it's like I didn't even realise, other than the Time Wars, of how clever and subtle the plot arcs are.
Yeah.
The fact that we see the Dalek in episode 6 and he has to confront it, and then we see a whole horde of Daleks in the series finale to undermine it even more and sort of test the Doctor to see if he really has healed. And then all the subtle little connections between episodes, like the Rift and the heart of the TARDIS. And another connection, the egg that Margaret turns into, was, of course, a reused prop from a certain episode in the series. Can you guess what episode they took it from? Lovely shot there of the Rift closing, by the way.
That looks nice, yeah. The egg is... the ostrich egg from End of the World.
Correct. It's from the End of the
World.
World.
Oh, that was a good guess. God, that's fantastic. Oh, man, I'm proud of myself for that. I didn't know that.
You just looked that up on the website, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I swear to God, I didn't.
Okay.
I was just thinking, egg. Is there any egg in series 1? When he smashed the egg open at the end of...
Yeah.
Yeah. With a bit of
they've just put some claws
stuff
on
added
it
on.
and a lick of paint. What do you think... I mean, this is a bit of a tangent, but I feel like we're saying too little here. What do you think of Kill the Moon and the idea of the moon being an egg?
Fucking stupid. No, sorry, I rewatched it recently. It's a bit...
I do like the idea, but I think if they set it on a different moon, I would have liked the idea.
Yeah.
It's just it's a bit too close to home for it to be taken seriously. Well, not taken seriously for it to work.
I don't know how I haven't mentioned this yet, but because I've probably mentioned it so much in our reviews of Boomtown, but Christopher Eccleston, the First Doctor, and Moral Dilemmas...
Yeah.
Go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Stories like Dalek and Passing of the Ways.
He deals with
The Unquite Dead. Yeah.
This is a very poignant.
And he's just so stern. He sends Margaret to her death, and he gives her another chance, but just fantastic. And I love that shot of Mickey just.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he doesn't see her again until Passing of the Ways.
We'll have to put that in the description. Join us for our Series 1 commentary where we talk about Slovene and Noel Clarke's face. Something like that. Oh. And that line from Ninth Doctor as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really like the bluey lighting. And also, it's weird how the egg is placed on a little cup.
But I mean, it's a nice resolution for Margaret Blaine's character. Well, Blomfeld-Focher's character. See what I mean? I get them confused.
Yeah, I think
it's odd how the last shot is not of the egg, but of the Welsh Millennium Centre. It's almost though they're trying to promote Welsh culture. That's the only time I felt like they were trying too hard to promote it, but it never felt forced on the story.
No, and it's strange how quickly this has gone, but of course it's going to be longer for people watching. But next week, it's the finale. It's the first part of the finale, as we can see here, Bad Wolf.
Yeah.
And from what we see here, it looks like a really fun episode.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. But yeah, what I like about Bad Wolf is the fact that...
okay, look, they just ruined that there.
God, Daleks!
Yeah, they should not have put that there. Yeah, that's the one thing that ruins it for me, I think.
Yeah.
Like, they should have at least left them for the next time trailer.
Oh, hang on.
You know.
The spacing was all wrong. Where you go back to Margaret and at Badland and notice that it's misaligned. And
Sorry,
Mr.
Bad
Cleaver
Wolf was
as well.
started, so...
No, but the end credits, they were all misaligned. And something I forgot to point out, the actor playing Mr. Cleaver, who I think appears at the beginning, is William Thomas, and he previously played Martin the Undertaker in Remembrance of the Daleks. So he was the first performer to appear in both the original and current run of Doctor Who.
Sorry, who's this?
Mr. Cleaver. So it was played by William Thomas, and he appeared in Remembrance of the Daleks. And he later played the father of Gwen Cooper, but I think you already mentioned that.
Yeah, I did. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know he was... But yeah, he's done quite a bit for Doctor Who then, hasn't he?
I feel like we've been a bit too quiet during that commentary, but it's like Father's Day. I think we enjoy this story too much, really.
Yeah, I
do
sorry
think,
for being quiet, but...
I do think watching it, the resolution did feel a bit odd. The fact that it's been so quiet and subdued, and then suddenly it's all shaky and earthquake, and then Margaret... And then Blomfeld Foch is back to being a bad character, but yeah, I do like the resolution that she's given a second chance. I do find that oddly beautiful.
But yeah, a really underrated story, a really nice 45-minute piece of just decent television. Pretty sort of, sums up series 1 pretty well, I think I'd say.
Yeah. One of the episodes
yeah,
I've watched the most,
good.
which is probably why it holds so much nostalgia. But it's just...
I think, because me and Max have been meaning to do this series for over a year, I think, and we finally got around to it. And for the whole year, I've been holding off watching any of Series 1 because I want to save it until the videos. I've held off every episode apart from Boomtown just because it's so easy to watch. No, yeah. And just, I think I was watching it when I wrote my top 10 new series stories, hence why it got on the list, because it just made me realise how fantastic it is.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, yeah. No, I love the moral dilemma. I love the fact that it's kind of... Because it's in between two parters, people don't really talk about it, but I kind of like that, the fact you kind of discover it for yourself and then realise for yourself how good it is.
I don't know why, but... for some reason, the TARDIS was shot so well in that story. I don't know why. It just looked
well, you
most
were moaning
appealing
about
it has
the
done throughout
the end, but
no, it was like I don't like the bluiness. I prefer the greeny bit of it. But I think it was shot very well, and I don't know why. It probably seemed appealing. It's looked nicer in other stories, but I think it's probably looked the best here. Yeah. And I think it was nice how it was the story, as you said, was centered. A lot more was set in the TARDIS.
It's a character piece. Consider that this was a bottle episode as well, and this all came out of necessity. This wasn't the first draft or anything like that. Originally, it was going to be something completely different, and then they had to come up with something new, quite quickly, I imagine. And I just like the fact that, as well as doing all the frenetic action that draws people in, and especially draws the kids in, they actually said, right, we want to do some character pieces like Father's Day and Boomtown. Which gives it a nice bit of variety and also distinguishes Doctor Who from the rest of the sci-fi crowd. And the character development is done so well, and it does new things with the series, and it's just done well.
I don't think we've ever had a Doctor Who story like it. I don't think since or before. I probably couldn't think of one. So that's going on Russell's part. And
one of the stories that certainly handles being very subdued and not much happening, just people talking very well.
Yeah. Dialogue driven. There's a bit of action.
Yeah.
But I think the dialogue's just so good it doesn't really take you out of the story at all.
When you consider other Bottle episodes for other series, like The Lodger, even that was pretty fast-paced and hectic. This is just... this is quite... It stands up on its own.
I haven't watched The Lodger in a very long time.
No, I haven't watched that. But, yeah, I'll talk about that in the other video that will already be out at this time. But that was Boomtown.
Boomtown, very...
Boom
that was Boomtown! There we go, we got it right. That was Boomtown. I think, that's all we really have to say. Make sure to tell us what you think of Boomtown in the comments, and if you don't like it, don't comment.
No, we want to hear different opinions.
not about Boomtown. If anyone doesn't like Boomtown, there's something up. But yeah, make sure to argue with us in the comments. But yeah, we will see you back here next week for the beginning of the end with Bad Wolf. Yeah, that's the one. But
I
yeah,
do hope
make sure
the
to
Ninth
check
Doctor
out.
makes it out of this one. Because I really like him.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, you bastard. But yeah, make sure to check out the rest of the series. The whole playlist will be in the description below, and probably on an iCard if I can be asked to edit it in. Probably not, so, deal with it. But yeah, make sure to come back next week to join us for Bad Wolf, and we will see you... Oh, hang on. Need to get the obligatory plugs. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and that. And DeviantArt, and subscribe to Max. That's a good thing. Subscribe to Max. Good content. But yeah, anyway, I've rambled enough.
Sorted.
That's
You've got it past 50 minutes.
There we go.
I think that's
way! No, we've. I think we managed 55 minutes on the Unquite Dead or something.
51. I'm now on 51.
Oh, me too. Yeah. There we go. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you. I'll probably slap an intro on as well, which will make it a bit longer. Yeah. But anyway, make sure to join us back next week, and we will see you on Thursday, 7 p.m. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Boomtown.